welcome to Two Mic Minimum, the comedy news that you don't hear about or care about, but we're going to make sure you hear it. Isn't that right, Sean?
No. I'm not making people listen to it. I don't know. We have fans.
I think so.
A lot of people come up to me and talk about it.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a lot of listens on our latest Spotify's episodes, but
I think that numbers is off on the Spotify thing. Yeah.
Why?
Just look at the Big Berry podcast, and it varies day to day. Seriously, no, like it'll go down.
This is like the denial phase of every podcast being like, oh no, the numbers are off. Like, 2 listeners. I know I have more than 2 listeners.
No, there's a site you can put in like your RSS feed, and it can tell. I need to figure it out. Yeah, Steiner told me about it. I need to find it.
Oh, okay. So
we can find out the actual numbers.
We'll hack into those numbers. Even though we're in that phase where we're just like, no, like, so many of our friends have said they listened to it. Like, these numbers are totally wrong.
To be fair, too many of them have brought up specifics that I forgot about that they had to have listened to it at least once.
Yeah. So who knows? But if you stuck with us to episode 6,
we're at 6.
A big heartfelt thank you from both Sean and I. Because,
we're doing this. We'd like to make it to at least 10.
Yeah.
We want to do our decathlon. I think we'll do the decathlon 4-10, right? 10-10.
10.
Because 10 decathlon means 10.
So you want to do it October 10th or
no? On the 10th episode.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely. We'll record it as a podcast though. I don't
know. All right.
Okay, no, we're just spitballing. We're just spitballing.
You and I haven't seen each other in a week, so over a week. So it's a little rough.
Yeah. We're a little rusty guys. Sorry, it's only episode 6.
You didn't comment me how I grew a beard in a week.
Please stay with us, guys. We promise this will be better by at least episode 50.
No, it's not. It's going to continue to Peter does all the work, and I'm just here.
That's true. Yeah, no, but I have gotten better at editing this podcast, so it's gone from taking me like an entire day to a few hours, but it's still grueling. That's the one thing that you don't think of when people start podcasting is how much it sucks editing.
Yeah, it's a pain.
God, it's grueling. At first it's fun because you're like, ooh, I can play with the volume and craft something. Like, it's fun to cut things and put things together, and then after a while, once you're like at minute 20 in your 5th episode, you're like, I don't want to deal with this anymore.
Pretty much.
It sucks. So yeah, keep that in mind if you want to start a podcast. Editing does suck.
Or you can be like some podcasts and not edit and just put it out.
Yeah, or you could just you can just be that guy.
That sort of works too.
Yeah, I mean, plenty of people do that where you listen to a podcast, it's just like, oh, so and I was said like you just can't hear the audio at all.
Yeah, that's been on a number of my podcasts on the Big Berry podcast.
Really, I think yours sound fine though.
There's the first 3 are like muffled.
Well, I know the one with Frankie.
The one with Frankie was particularly bad.
I think ours is fine.
Ours is okay.
The latest one I think was a bit off.
Which one was
the one with your ex-girlfriend?
No, that was pretty good.
That was good. The audio was a bit like...
It's because the room was echoey.
I was thinking like there was a bit of an echo.
The recorder has an external microphone, and I only own 2 microphones, so I had to use that one.
Yeah,
so that added a whole new dimension to it.
Yeah. No, I think your audio quality is fine. If you want to check out good audio quality, in addition to this podcast, which I know has great audio quality, because I work fucking hard on it, go check out the Big Berry podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a donut real quick. Sorry if you don't like it. We're recording early in the morning. I got my breakfast. I brought donuts for Pete.
Yes, he brought Entenmann's mini frosted donuts.
They're fucking good.
They're good for what it is.
Don't tell your doctor you eat these, but eat them.
No, of course. I'm just, it's like, because it's the only thing there, it's, of course I'm going to take some donuts, but like if there was anything else, and if there was like a pile of bananas, I'd be like, fuck it, I'll have a banana over an Entenmann's donut.
Who the fuck has a banana over a donut?
I mean, I wouldn't have a banana over like, I don't know, a quality donut, but over like an Entenmann's donut, yeah.
I'm feeling I love Entenmann donuts.
No, like they're good.
I'm feeling very attacked. Now you...
Yeah, I'm not judging you for liking
some of our guests say I bully you on the show sometimes, and now I'm feeling bullied. I'm feeling very attacked.
I think that's the point of our show, though, is the fact that you're the alpha and I'm a beta, according to people who love far right channels.
Anybody who ever looked at us.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Yeah. No, that's why I wanted you to be the co-host, because I thought we'd contrast each other very well.
We do have a good dynamic.
And yeah, we have a good dynamic where Sean has all the testosterone and I have none.
Yeah.
And he exudes it over me all the time.
Listen, I'm hoping somebody will rub off on you, and then you'll start growing into a second me.
Then I'll
just put on like 100 pounds of muscle. It'll be sweet.
Yeah. We'll start wearing oversized Hawaiian shirts, but they just don't look good at me at all.
Yeah, they really don't.
Because they don't fit me at all.
Yeah, we'll just start. We'll start dressing as each other. I've always thought just like for my birthday, we just did like a Sean Barry mic where everybody had to go up and like just dress as me. So like everybody's in a Hawaiian shirt, some jeans and shoes, and then like just do my whole persona.
Yeah, I'd love to do that.
It's a pretty easy copy, to be fair.
I'd love to do that just to roast you at a mic.
I was thinking about doing a roast for my 25th.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah.
You should do it at Lucy's. Like, talk to Frank. He'll totally put it on.
Yeah, I was thinking about it.
Yeah. So
then I'm like, I don't want my feelings hurt. So I'm like, fuck. Then I have to do work because you have to do the roast back at the end, and I'm like, I don't want to do work. I hate roast battle. I realize how much I suck at roast. I'm good at insulting people. Suck at roasting.
Roast battle. The format between a roast battle and like a typical like Comedy Central roast is very different though. Like a roast battle, it's kind of like you have to. Roast battle's all about like getting. It's kind of like just a yo mama contest. It's like trying to retort in a way to keep the flow on your side, yada yada. But like when it comes to like a normal Comedy Central roast, it's more personal. It's more just if it's hard to explain, but the style of joke writing, I would say, is very different between the two.
Yeah.
So it would be fun.
Should we? What's the segment I came up with for our recap?
Catch up on comedy.
Time to catch up on comedy.
Yeah.
Time for this next song.
New song.
Wiki 2 mic minimum. Yo, it's 2 mic minimum, and I'm here to say that it's minimum, but catching up, and then the rapping soul. I was trying to do Wild Wild West.
He was so prepared for that, he had to think between the songs.
in between lyrics.
Yeah, so I think the greatest day of our lives happened a little over a week ago. Yeah.
Yeah, we after recording the last week's pod, we got tickets to go. Well, we got tickets in advance, I guess, to go see. Would you call it an underground show?
Yeah.
An underground show of Michael Che, Gerard Carmichael, and Drew Michael.
Yes, we were so lucky to get tickets to this show because our good friend, shout out to James Crowley.
I wouldn't say good friend.
Well, I'll say good friend. You're, you can keep your opinion.
I'll say a guy I've recorded 10 podcasts with.
Acquaintance I've recorded 10 podcasts with.
Person I keep talking to.
Every time before recording, I go to James and I'm like, look, I'm just doing this for the paycheck. Okay, this is purely professional. All right.
Yes.
What's up, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yeah, he DM'd me saying he took a screenshot of Michael Che's Instagram story where he just said in a black background, as all of his Instagram story, whatever. What would you call them?
No, that's basically he uses it as one would use Twitter, but for Instagram.
Yeah, he just uses
it's better. He's a provocateur. He's like he'll say shit. His reaction to the Knicks this weekend was very very funny for me.
Yeah, he just used a black background and simply said, I'm doing a show with Gerard Carmichael and Drew Michael tomorrow. Tomorrow
at Union Hall. Here's the Eventbrite link.
Yeah, just out of nowhere. And on the, he said this is the poster for the show as well. And on the event website, it was just
their names.
It was just like the Instagram snapshot.
Yeah, the bold font.
And James sent me this. I'm like, so for me, Gerard Carmichael and Drew Michael are like my top 2 favorites right now.
Yeah, I remember I think one of the first conversations we had was about Drew Michael.
Was it? Maybe.
I think it was.
Yeah, because
his special came out last summer on HBO, and that's what you were telling me. You recommended it to me.
Yeah, I recommended it to everyone. I mean, I'm a huge fan.
That makes me feel less special.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's because it was that good. Oh, yeah, only my good friend Sean can appreciate the work of a great artist.
So that's what I do.
Yeah,
that's why I recommend new things.
I'm a huge fan of Drew, and I'm a huge fan of Gerard, and I was like, this is perfect. I'd love to see them both. So I reached out to Sean. Sean got a ticket just in time. I got a ticket.
Yeah, literally, it was one of those things where I was like, "Fuck," because it kept being ticket not there, ticket not there.
Yeah.
And then I eventually went through, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Because I had a show that night at Broadway Comedy Club too. So I was like, "Fuck, can I make it?" And then I went on first. I'm like, "Peace,
Yeah. Bye.
peace." 8 people in the audience.
Time to see some talent.
Time because I was still in a bad mood. I was still in a bad mood that day. Then
From if you listen to the last episode.
beyond just that, just a bunch of other things.
Okay, gotcha.
I was in a bad mood, and so I was like, all right, well, I'll go to the show. Might as well get some laughs, get a cocktail or two, to ease my sorrows. So yeah, we go to Union Hall. They have the little cool underground basement.
Yeah, Union Hall is just your typical Brooklynite.
Anti shout out to the guy taking the tickets. He was a real cunt. He was just such a cunt to me.
Yeah,
he's like, all right. He's like, I went up to get he went up to use the bathroom while we were waiting in line, and Peter was just saving our spot because we got there early. We're gonna get good seats.
Yeah, I was on the stairwell.
Like, you can't do that. Go to the back of the line. Go to the back of the line. Go to the back of the line. That's exactly how he sounded. And just being like a real I was literally pointing. Like Peter was like,
yeah, I was waving
4 feet away from me from where I was standing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. In his defense, like he probably deals with a lot of bullshit, so he just like kind of assumed.
Don't defend him, Peter.
I don't know. I look at things with more nuance than
do
most
unto
people.
others as you want it done unto yourself. You know who said that?
No, it was shitty.
Do you know who said that? I did right now. That's who said that.
Okay, yeah.
And people should listen.
Wow, people should write a book about you.
They should.
And make a religion.
Goddamn right they should.
No, I just like, I obviously like you should have just let you go to me, but like I could see why people are like that. And also, yeah, and it's still annoying, but like it's not like I like to see things in more nuance than most people. I think most people like to just
fuck him, fuck his stupid face, fuck his clipboard.
Anyway. No, I agree. But
don't support it. All right, we'll go back to the good parts.
You interrupted my train. Oh yeah, I was like talking about how like this place is
I wanted to
the most gentrified bar.
It's super Brooklyn.
It's super Brooklyn. They have like what do they have in the bar?
They have bocce ball
in the bar.
But so the initial aesthetic is like a library, which I admit, like I dug it.
It's like I love it. I love just like those Brooklyn hideouts.
Fairly reasonably priced too. About $7 for beers.
Yeah,
not bad.
Yeah,
for Brooklyn, like I'll take it. Yeah, but then we get down there and it's packed. It's probably about, what'd you say, about 100?
I would say 150.
I'd say a little less.
Yeah.
I'd probably put like 120.
Yeah, that was my original estimate. I don't know. It's been so long.
I'd say between 120 and 140 amount of people in a pretty small room.
And you were in the back of that line too, because I was waiting for you to
get in the back of the line.
Because I was saving Sean's seat. We were sitting in the third row. I'm like, where the fuck is Sean?
Peter got the good seat. So fuck this guy at the clipboard. So we get there and like we chill out for a little bit. And then we're just like, is there no one had any clue what this is gonna be?
Oh yeah, the show started like 20 minutes late.
Yeah, because Che just walks out and he's like, hey, we're just waiting on Gerard, who's super late.
And then Gerard
just comes in looking like he just got off a boat.
Yeah, he walks in through like not the back door, but like a door from the audience, which was right near.
No, he didn't. Literally, that's like the same door you could enter and exit through, like the normal. There was no special entrance. He's just like, hey, I'm here now.
Yeah, and then he just took the stage with Che.
They just start.
He took the stage with Che, and then they just kind of riff, and then they bring Drew out, and then they riff a little bit, the three of them more.
Yeah, we won't go into what they said because they asked everybody not to talk about it.
Yeah,
they said nothing bad. It was just like
it was just like them riffing.
In this day and age, though, people are cunts.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, honestly, like if we like slandered one of them, it would probably gain us more listeners. So
we just go in on.
I mean, we never signed an NDA.
We did. We're just like we're cool people. As soon as they called out one guy for taking a picture, I was taking a picture at the exact same time, but I was able to sneak it better.
Yeah, no, Sean got good pictures. But anyway, if you were wondering if Michael Che advocates for white genocide, he does. So take that as you will.
Michael Che, we're starting beef.
Fox News, take that as you will.
Yeah.
Please leave us a link to our Spotify for our podcast if you want to use the segment.
I love we got picked up by an alt-right channel. Just gotta lean into it.
No, honestly,
they
like
pay well.
one of my good comedian friends like made a Facebook post saying like, look, I know how easy it is to just make money spewing alt-right things online, but like we don't do it, right? Because we're good people.
Yeah. Yeah, no, like there are some comedians who I really should write down examples when I find out things. But there's a guy who used to be like super liberal and then just turned alt-right to make money, and I'm like,
sold out to the alt-right.
I mean, that's truly selling your soul, in my opinion. But, there you go. So the show was great. We won't get into
fucking amazing.
It was one of those like reaffirming, like, this is why I like comedy.
Yes,
This is funny. There was just such good riffing. Like, they did probably about 25 minutes at the top, just the three of them just shooting the shit.
Yeah, and then Drew did
Drew was the only one who really came to like do some stand up.
Yeah, because he's working on a new hour.
He probably did 15 to 20 minutes.
No, I think he did like 30 maybe.
No, he did way less than that.
I don't know. I'm bad at judging time.
I'd say he did 15 to 20 minutes.
Okay.
About 14 of which he seems to have really gotten, and then about 6 minutes of just kind of looking at his notes and being like, huh? A classic open
It made
mic.
It
made me feel like, oh, I do that too. It
made me so
good.
happy to see him because he's one of my favorites, and I think I think he's gonna be big if he keeps doing this. He will be big at some point.
Yeah,
he has like the same insight on life and comedic take as like Louis does.
Yeah.
And
less masturbation.
Yes.
Well, to our knowledge.
That we know of.
To our knowledge.
But I agree. I agree with everything you said, Sean. Like, it was one of those things where it's just like, this is the type of comedy I like. I mean, the venue was amazing. It's
just nice having audience who want to be there.
Yeah.
Which made me really think about it for a second. And I think like truly the difference between big time comics and small time comics is that people just know their name. Yeah. Because like a lot of the stuff they talked about isn't too different from what I've heard like guys like us say, if I'm being completely honest, and like their jokes are maybe a little. But
also, I
think they have a better sense of themselves.
They have a better sense of themselves, and they also know how to deliver better. And
but I'm saying it's like the same thinking. Is
I totally agree with you though.
And but the people willing to accept it more, it just comes from just that name brand recognition. Yeah, which I feel like they get the pass because Gerard Carmichael went up after Drew. And truthfully, he had nothing.
Gerard had nothing. Yeah,
Gerard truly had nothing prepared. But he was still fucking hilarious for about 15 minutes. Like he was just.
He's a naturally funny guy.
He was basically just going through his day and just using just as he would describe it, just black charisma.
Talked about his family.
Yeah,
yeah. What I loved about that show so much was the venue. Like, these are the venues I like. It was just like there wasn't really that big of a stage. The stage was like, I don't know, like a foot high, like you'd say, like almost like the Lucy's stage.
It's a little higher than Lucy's.
Okay. And the beginning of the show is just like, there was no fanfare. There was no host coming out being like, oh, you guys ready for some comedy? The show's beginning was just
we were about 12 feet away from them at all times.
Yeah. The show's beginning was just Che walking on stage being like, hey, what's up? And it was so cool. Like, the guy from Weekend Update just coming out and being like, hey, let's just do some comedy. That's what I love so much when you like strip most of the fanfare that people add to stand up and just add this human levelness to stand up. I think that's what makes comedy so great.
So at the end, they all come back out again, and Che's pretty drunk. And so then it kind of just gets real and turns into like basically a podcast.
Yeah,
and it's really fun. So if people see Che's post about that again, we highly recommend going to see that because it's special. It's just like it felt special in the moment,
I mean, I don't think we'll ever see something like that again. Like,
hopefully next time it happens.
I would love to.
Hopefully next time I'll be the one on stage. Like that's the way I look at it.
But like, it's so rare for just three really talented comedians to just like do an impromptu show and then like do it.
They said it themselves. They were there because they're friends and they don't get to hang out a lot, and it's the easiest way for them to do it.
Yeah. So, that was so cool.
Yeah,
I love it. That's like all I want to do in stand up though. Like, I don't. Honestly,
you don't want to write jokes and perform. You want to just chill.
It's not that. It's just that like in terms of like the shows I want to do, like I would be fine just not doing club shows. I'd be fine just doing small venues and doing shows that are really intimate.
Listen, those shows are so much. That if you just post them on Instagram and 100 people will show up, that's the fucking dream.
Yes.
Like, so we can actually skip ahead a little bit, right? Because I didn't do. Did you do myself last week, comedy wise?
Oh no, I missed the Monday mic. So
okay, so you did no stand up.
I did no stand. I was gonna do the Monday mic, but I knew you and James weren't gonna be there. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna. Yeah, my friends aren't there, so.
I hosted Lucy's on Wednesday. It was actually pretty good. I think it's starting to get.
I'm going tonight. to the Wednesday mic?
I'm not because I'm on vacation.
Okay.
After this, I'm going on vacation for the next day and a half.
Yeah, for all Sean Barry fans, just know he's on vacation. He'll be back soon.
Listen, as always, if you want to slide into my DMs and have sex with me, you can do that while I'm on vacation. But
good luck with that, Sean.
So host of the mic was really good. We had probably about 10 people show up, which was good.
Cool.
So finally building that mic. If you're a comedian, listen to this. Come to the Wednesday. It's every Wednesday now. Just come to it. get good because that's it's actually the purpose. We're giving you more time to develop.
Yes, if you're in the New York area.
You'll get 5 minutes on Wednesdays, but you'll get 5 minutes on Mondays, but you'll get 7 minutes on Wednesdays.
Oh, I didn't know you get 7 minutes.
Yeah, so that's
Cool.
the big difference.
So yeah, prepare your stories, your long-winded jokes.
Do anything Thursday? No, that's right. I took like a weird, just like it got to like 7 o'clock. I was just at my house, and I'm like, should I be doing stand up right now? And I'm just like, oh, I have nowhere to go. So I'm like, I could have gone to Levity Live, but I'm like, I don't want to fucking go to Levity Live. I could have done the city too, but I'm like, driving.
They have a mic at Levity?
Yeah, they have one every Thursday now.
Every Thursday, like
it's
weekly?
$5, yeah, every Thursday.
Is it good?
Probably not this Thursday, which is the 4th of July, but it was the one time I went was pretty crappy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a mic. It might have improved too. It was only this.
It's also a mic at a very big club. Like the room is so big.
Well, no, they put you in a side room that's way smaller.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
They might have improved. I don't know. I might go back there again next week. I didn't do shit Friday. Did anyone do anything Friday? Oh no, I went to Frankie's show on Friday. That's what it was.
Oh, how was Frankie's show? Because I did not get a chance to ask him.
Frankie's show was really good. Everybody went up, did pretty freaking well. Like I think he had about 22 people show up. Which is a good number. Like,
that's a good number
for a new place that he's trying to perform stand up at.
Yeah.
It was a fun time. I enjoyed myself. I know everyone's set by heart a little bit, but I was just there to support some friends. It's, if you're the good thing for people, just support your friends' comedy. Like it goes a long way.
Yeah, no, and I mean that goes for any sort of performer. Like especially like if you're an actor, like go to your friends' plays or whatever, go to whatever your friend's starring in. Like same thing with stand up. Like yeah, go to your friends' shows when you can, because it shows you care and support for them, and that means a lot to people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I did nothing Saturday, nothing Sunday, but then Monday I actually goes at Broadway Comedy Club out of the blue because my friend Chablis Quarterman, she
Sean gets booked regularly in the city.
I've been it's only 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying.
Just putting that out there.
You get booked regularly in the city.
Booked regularly in the city, the same club over and over again. Broadway, which has just turned into Lucy's for me, but in the city. Chablis was like, hey, I need someone for my show. You don't have to bring anybody, which was nice.
Oh, that's good. Yeah.
But even then, I was able to sell 3 tickets from just posting on Instagram about it. Like people were like, hey, I want to come to the show. People I worked with last summer that I haven't seen in basically a year. Like, yeah, we want to see you do stand-up. I'm like, fuck yeah. And they came out, so I was able, and the show was pretty good. It was probably about 35 people were there.
Nice.
Your good friend, my acquaintance James Crowley, was also on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a good turnout. Yeah, I put out a pretty good 7 minutes, I'd say. And it was just like fuck. All right, because I needed a good show performance.
Yeah,
it was on a streak of bombs, but like finally made up for it. I was probably about 0 for 4. Now I'm 1 for 5, baby.
There we go.
Yesterday was a tapped.
A few more wins, you'll make the playoffs.
Yep. Yesterday was a tapped solid mic.
Cool.
Had fun, and now we're here. And that's how we catch up on comedy, baby.
Yes. So now we'll get into the stuff I found today. I don't have any news segments, but what I did find today was a very interesting show.
Oh, wait, hold on. I didn't do my music yet.
Yeah. Do your music.
Bing. Bong, bingity bong, you're a bingity bong, a bong, bang, diggy, bong, to bang, dang, diggy, bong. Bang, bang.
Anyway,
here we are.
So I found this show on Reddit, and I went to their Facebook page. This isn't actually a show; it's an open mic.
Forgot one more thing. I was on Frank Pellegrino's podcast last week.
Oh yeah, out in Westchester.
Out in Westchester, we were at 808 Social. There's a clip on their Facebook page. Go check it out.
Yes. Anyway, so I found this mic, this very strange mic called Bomb Squad. It's a show in not Austin, San Antonio, Texas.
Don't you get them confused, boy. Yeah. San Antonio's ain't no Austonian queers.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna I'm gonna get so much hate from our non-existent Texan fans. Anyway, so it's called Bomb Squad. The tagline is "Comedy enters the nuclear age,"
And as I told Peter when he handed me this pamphlet,
and that's an understandable grunt. Comedy enters a nuclear age. So this sounds intense. So what does this entail? So they say in their description, Bomb Squad is an open mic audience interactive comedy competition in which audience members, the Bomb Squad, are allowed to express their displeasure with specific comedic performances by lobbing bombs at performers during their comedic set. They don't specify what these bombs are.
I hope they're grenades.
I hope they're actual grenades.
They just kill the performers.
They have to
I assume they're water balloons.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's something like that. Or
I feel like water balloons makes most sense.
It'd be funny
right?
if it was just like jelly beans. They're like,
Rocks.
I mean, so they just stone them.
Yeah, you suck. Stop talking about your dick.
Yeah.
Stop with the 9/11 jokes.
Lobbing bombs at performers during their comedic set. So the Bomb Squad audience member may also be interviewed in real time regarding their decision to bomb the specific comedian. Bombed comedians will be given a military escort to the bomb shelter. There's so many layers to this.
This is so fucking bad.
It's like...
Here, I'm doing a little just faster read where they will remain until the end of the show, which at the time the worst comedian will be dishonorably discharged. See, they also just changed themes midway through.
Dishonorably discharged.
Bomb Squad is different than like military thing. You right? Am I crazy?
Yeah,
here?
no. That's like because Bomb Squad is like a police department.
Yeah, like that's police. You change it to regular military.
No, it's just funny how many like layers and elements are like trying to intertwine with this open mic.
Yeah, the worst comedian will be dishonorably discharged from the competition as a comedy traitor.
Comedy traitor.
Oh God, these people.
It says it in all caps.
I like how our show turned from talking about news and comedy to us just making fun of other people's ideas.
Well, honestly, this is a shitty idea, and I'll get into it.
Yeah,
like
we'll
once
keep getting into it. We'll finish. All right, we'll keep reading.
So, as a comedy traitor and face a firing squad comprised of Bomb Squad audience members known as Bomb Squad snipers.
Okay, you changed metaphors again. Jesus Christ. Need a donut.
They're just like, imagine going to this open mic and they just give you a bunch of badges. Like, all right, you're gonna be a honorary.
Well, this
bomb
is Texas.
squad.
They might give him a gun.
They just. Yeah, no, you're probably right. Just give them a shotgun, being like, oh, it's very easy to get a gun here, so here's your shotgun to shoot the comedy traitors.
Yeah.
The comedians who complete their sets unscathed will be escorted to the green zone where they will remain until the final round, at which time all green zone comedians will perform 5-minute sets competing for the title of Comedy Lone Survivor. The best comedian, determined by audience and judges, will be awarded the Comedic Medal of Honor. So they have like a lot prepared put into this open mic.
So much. This is an open mic.
This is an open mic. It's not a show.
This is an open mic.
It's not a show where they're like, okay, we're gonna have like these 6
So at
guys.
this open mic, in theory, sometimes get 25 people doing. This is like it's like an 8-hour fucking mic.
I know. Where and in between comics, you have audience members giving their 2 cents.
Yeah, their testimonials,
like why they threw a rock at a comedian or whatever they fucking threw.
Yeah, like oh my God.
And then they go and then they have to face a firing squad and then the notary has to go through paperwork on who got executed.
Yeah, you gotta file. Yeah,
the comedy notary.
Peter. Peter. Do you have what it takes to face the bomb squad?
Probably not, but I don't want to.
I can't see now. Every time I see this, I'm like, I kind of want to do it now. People fly me to Texas, and I'll do this.
Honestly, look, if we
were to set up a GoFundMe, how much do you think a flight to Texas costs? $600?
Yeah, sure.
$600. If you people raise $600 for my flight here and back, I will fly to San Antonio and do this mic and report it for everybody. I'll pay for my own lodging, but you guys pay for my flight. That's a promise. I will do this.
On another note, if you run Bomb Squad and you're listening to this and you don't like what we have to say about it, you can fly either of us out and we'll definitely do it.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it if you run Bomb Squad. Yeah.
Yeah.
He flies out. We'll pay for our own hotel, or
Fuck no, I'm not paying for my hotel. Everything's got to be paid for me. I'm not gonna.
Fucking hotel in Texas is like $30.
All right, whatever. Sure, I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm not saying we're gonna stay at like a nice Marriott.
No,
Just
yeah,
like a Motel 6.
Just give me,
or we'll just find some nice ladies who like our comedy.
Well, good luck with that. We won't be able to do that if we're faced in front of the bomb squad snipers, the firing squad.
Snipers. God, I would love it. What if we turn out we go and we fucking love it? It's actually a lot of fun.
I mean, it could be. Look. Okay, so here's my issue with this show. Is that this show basically wants to make the people on stage, who are mostly new comics, just a laughing stock to the audience. Yeah. That seems like the objective to the show. It doesn't seem to be helpful for the comics. It just seems to be something for the audience members to really pick on people on stage, which I think is very, very toxic and not conducive to, especially like an amateur comedy scene at all.
Yeah, I mean,
that's my issue with
the thing
it.
is, we also don't know what else they do. Like, we don't know if there's other open mics in the area. We don't know if, like...
Oh, I'm sure.
Because this open mic could also be, like, for more advanced people, too, coming in and doing this.
That's true. That's
like,
true.
just because you're new to the scene, like, it could be new. Like, we are open mic comics, but I wouldn't say either of us are new to this.
Yeah.
We know what to expect. We know the pain.
Yeah. I see what you're saying. I still just,
like... you tell me, Josh Kincaid's an open micer. He were to do this, he'd probably make the fucking green zone.
Yeah, he probably would avoid the bomb squad.
He wouldn't be killed.
He would not be labeled as a comedy traitor. God, the
labels are terrible. And like,
everything we've read is verbatim.
This is all they posted.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Like, I guess, like, if it's not for you, don't sign up for it. But I still think it's like, I don't like the idea of a comedy show that gives its power to a drunk, annoying audience.
That's true.
That's my issue.
But also, every comedy show is taking in from a white, annoying, drunk audience, to a certain extent. Like, if people get wasted, like, your show's over. Like, right? Like, if people are wasted,
that's terrible.
Yeah. What?
And this show kind of just amplifies that to 10,000, essentially.
All right, nice.
And like, look, if this is your thing, fucking go for it.
Go for it.
But honestly,
the bomb squad.
These are like, we just talked about the things that make us love comedy, like the show that made us love comedy. This is the kind of show that makes me hate comedy.
Yeah, it's so gimmicky, and there's people who are gonna take it way too fucking seriously, and it's like. No one should take a comedy show seriously, but people fucking do.
No one should take an open mic seriously.
Yeah,
especially that.
That's why I always find, like, just you see some people come in and you're like, "What are you doing here? Like, relax, relax." Where this is,
I feel like Sean and I are thinking of the exact same comic right now.
Yeah, probably are. No, but last night there was this like group of guys at the bar at the mic who were not having it, and they were in a bad fucking mood, and then every comic just kept going in on them, and I'm like, stop, they can kick our ass. These were like, some big fucking dudes, and I'm like, you guys look at me, I'm not gonna fight them for you. Like,
were they all looking at you like you're gonna protect them?
I guess, I don't know. It's like, I'm like, guys, we're all comedians, we are all pussies. Like, I am. Just because I wrestled and have muscle on me does not mean I want to fight this guy.
Do you think people who can fight do comedy? No.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, well,
and
I'm saying in the generalist examples, it was a joke. Like, I feel like people.
I think a few people.
Yeah, I feel like the thing, like, I think what attracts comedy to most people is that people want to find a way to defend themselves in a certain extent.
They use their words.
That was the joke I was going for. It's like, if you know how to fight, you're not going to be a comedian because you don't need to.
That's true. I just say the one guy just looked like he lifted weights in the park, and just general rule for life: if a guy's lifting weights in the park, leave him alone. Like, he's been through some shit.
I've never seen that.
You've never
before.
seen a dude lift weights in the park?
I mean, I could believe it. I've just never seen it.
When he's just got a fucking barbell with two 45s on each side, and just, you've never seen these guys?
I was thinking like a dumbbell. Like, someone brought like a
homie. Like,
no,
I'm talking.
Someone brings an entire bench set, being like,
yeah. You've never seen these types of guys?
He beckons to a dog walker, being like, "Hey, can you spot me?"
Yeah. No, they don't use spotters, man. They're just going ham.
I've never.
You
got
to go to more parks.
Probably. I mean, I don't go out that much. So.
I hang out at a lot of kids' parks. So.
And those happen at kids' parks. The people
dude.
benching
literally,
like 45.
Down my road here to Pew Park, that happens all the time.
Hey, how old are you? 10? All right, yeah. Can you spot me?
Yeah, get on, no, you're gonna be one of my weights. But yeah, don't fuck with those guys.
I find it so funny that the idea people might just be looking at you, and while they insult like really big guys, being like, "You'll protect us, right, Sean?"
And I'm like, as I've demonstrated
You're
before,
our comedy bodyguard.
there have been multiple fights break out where I've literally just sidestepped the situation and ignored it. I'm like, I'm not getting involved.
Oh, when a fight almost broke out at Lucy's, I left the room. I was just like, I can't handle conflict.
Yep, same thing at Olive's. I watched two dudes just beat each other up while Ryan Danisco is the guy who broke it up. Ryan Danisco, who's thinner than you.
But he actually trains in self-defense, so he's not thinner than me.
He's
muscled.
Who are you thinking of?
I confused him with Lakestream.
Way different guy.
I did that. Way different guy. I know, way different guy. Completely different guy. Yeah. I've done that so many times where I've confused the two. I don't know why.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think the sad thing is that even though I think Danisco does more comedy than Lakestream, when I associate Ryan in comedy, I associate him for like Lakestream first over Danisco.
Makes sense. Well, you probably spend more time with Lakestream than Danisco.
Yeah, I've only met him like twice.
Yeah. By the way, yeah, he's the guy who broke up the fight, and I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and he is a scrawnier guy than me, so good for him.
Yeah.
I would have left Olives and then left a bad Yelp review.
I think I went on stage next. Actually,
nice. How did you do after that?
Pretty well.
Oh,
yeah. I think it was just like, I remember exactly. I had nothing for that night, and I'm like, well, here's what I get to riff on for the next 5 minutes. Is these idiots that got drunk into a fight over pool.
Yeah, diffuse. I mean, there's a lot of pent up tension, so it's very easy to get that.
You get that easy outlet, baby.
Get that released. Rub it out of people, essentially. So yeah, that's my opinion of
the
Bomb Squad. It's just,
again, people fly me out to San Antonio. I'll do it.
I'll do it too. I'll do it too. And if it's we'll see if it's actually good or not. There's not a lot to this.
This is their follow-up post. Bomb Squad practice begins tonight. Some very good showings by many of the comics. 30 took the stage,
and 19 were bombed.
Left us with 11 survivors. Congratulations to those 11. We look forward to all of you reloading and facing the Bomb Squad next week. Of course, we had a few MIAs tonight when comedy called. They did not answer. AWOL.
You missing in action. So yeah, I guess they do a few rounds. This is just like a follow-up post. They have like a picture of a atomic bomb.
Atomic bomb of the clown face. Which I like it. It's funny.
Yeah.
How much time are they doing initially? Because
probably like 5 or something.
5. That's so long.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming
then the people who won come back and do more time.
Well, that's why the thing is, I'm assuming the guy who put on this show is very inexperienced and didn't think about that. And that's why they said, we had 11 survivors. Everyone wanted to leave because no one wanted to stay past like 12 on a Tuesday.
Yeah, pretty much.
Everyone wants to go home.
If you're going to do that, like, you have to make it do it like, it should be a show. This should be your show idea, not your open mic idea.
This as a show I will say this as a show would be a better idea. But as an open mic, I think
it's terrible.
Come on.
If it's a show, then all right, that's a gimmick. That's fun. You could do it like a Friday night. You could do, people have to do a shot after they lose or something, like a shot of whiskey. Or
make it fun for like everyone, not just like the audience members. Like it's so audience focused in this regard.
Yeah.
Here's a review
from Larry Garza.
Larry Garza. This is a terrible...
Doesn't recommend Bomb Squad.
Does not recommend it. I didn't recommend Bomb Squad either. I actually left a bad review for Bomb Squad.
Here, let me read Larry Garza.
Okay.
This is a terrible idea and does not educate an audience on how a comedy show goes. Putting a comic who is starting out through such humiliation and giving the audience so much power can only give a negative effect to the stand-up comedy scene in San Antonio.
What was that accent? Just like
I don't know. It just kind of comes out. I don't know what's going to leave my lips until it's already out.
Yeah, there's a disclaimer in this episode. Sean is not responsible for anything he says in this episode. He has no control over his own
I black
thoughts.
out every time I do a podcast.
So basically this comic left a bad review, and then Bomb Squad responded with like a giant paragraph, which I don't want to get into like the entire paragraph.
Basically, a lot, as always, if someone goes at you on Facebook, people go twice as hard.
Yeah, but like he essentially sounds like a big douchebag in this paragraph, and he uses a lot of ellipses, which I hate so much.
Just use a fucking period. It's a sentence, you
like
asshole.
People use ellipses as if they're dropping the mic, being like, "I made such a good point." ...
It is not just for new comics. ...
The real attempt is educating a comic. ... Not so much the audience. As for power... ...
Just one
The audience always has the power. Like, shut up.
If you're a person who gets in fights on Facebook, please just kill yourself. Like, save the world. Do the right thing. Kill yourself if you're a Facebook fighter.
Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I was willing to give the benefit of the dabbling. Like, maybe the guy who puts this on is a nice guy. Then I read this review. I'm like, this guy sounds like a douche. But anyway, if you're listening to this and you want to...
Once again, fly us out to San Antonio. We will do the Bomb Squad.
Definitely. So that was Bomb Squad. If you're in the San Antonio area and you are a fan, give us your thoughts. We'd love to talk about it again.
Send us an email us in at
2mike@gmail.com.
Yep.
Fuck, I forgot to mention that at the beginning. I should have mentioned that at the beginning.
It's fine. It's in our show notes, right?
So I guess we'll get into our next thing, which I found on a comics Facebook group. So comic Carl Adams said he needed some advice. I've just noticed that a comedian has posted 2 jokes now that are very, very similar to jokes that me and my brother have written. What should I do about it? So I feel like this happens. This is very common within like smaller scenes where like people feel like their jokes have been
being
stolen,
ripped off, and
they see similar bits and they feel like a comic might have taken their bits. It's a very, very nuanced and not.
It's a very touchy subject for people because sometimes there's this thing called parallel thought where literally people come to the same conclusion, and you can see it almost every night on late night talk shows when they rip things from the headlines and like Jimmy Fallon records in New York, but Conan records in L.A. and they'll have the same joke.
Yeah, because
there's no way because like it's just sometimes it's just the obvious joke, sometimes it's just like the thing, and then people sometimes just have similar life experiences.
Yeah. Well, I actually pulled something about the Conan lawsuit. You know about that?
Oh yeah, I know about that.
I pulled something, and we'll get into that later. But like, yeah, Sean's kind of right on the money on that. So Nick Palladino commented saying, "I always hate when I lose a good joke to parallel thinking. However, if a joke is so simple you can hear multiple variations on the premise, it might not be quite quality."
Yeah. Well, I remember one thing. Last year there was an article about Hooters was going under, and about 5 different comics at the same mic had a joke about it, but it was in the news. And I'm like, all separate from each other.
It's very easy to make a premise about that too.
Yeah, Hooters is inherently funny because it's titties and wings.
Yeah. My 2 favorite things, not in that order. And open mics are always filled by men, and those men only know how to talk about 2 things.
Yeah. You ever been to a Hooters?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
I feel like if I went into a Hooters and I came out of a Hooters, I'd look like you.
But their wings are terrible.
I don't know.
That was my hook for the joke.
They had like they had their own airline service for a little bit. Hooters Airlines.
I did not know that. No.
Yeah, they had their own airline service that eventually went under because
why?
I don't know, but like it was essentially just all it was like an airline service where they had Hooters stewardesses. So like the waitresses at Hooters were stewardess.
So a bunch of women with padded bras.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I don't want to look at tits when I'm eating. God. I'm here for the food.
To follow that, I think ideas, just in general, creative ideas are kind of just like the air we breathe. An idea that goes through your mind has gone through so many other minds before.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think any idea is really original unless it's crazy specific.
Well, that's why I find telling a story is the only way to truly be unique. Because like if it happened to you, obviously you can insert in falsehoods to make it funnier. But like if it happened to you, no one can take that from you. Like that's the nice part. But like sometimes like just like because a joke is like it's hard because you're thinking of something and then other people are thinking it because there's so many people in comedy now where it's like because I know there's a case like the big one obviously is Joe Rogan and Mencia. You know about that, right?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'll just give a 2-minute recap. So basically, Carlos Mencia was stealing jokes forever from the Laugh Factory or Comedy Store.
Menstelia.
I think it was a comedy store.
Yeah, somewhere in LA.
Basically, he would go in and see people like Ari Schaefer and just take their shit and just do it for himself. And it was a big thing. And then Rogan literally confronted them on stage one night. And honestly, I don't think that's probably the scariest scenario for anybody in the world is Joe Rogan confronting you, because he really is the only person who's scary.
Dude, Joe Rogan.
Actually, I wouldn't say, but like, if you didn't know who he was, you'd be like, that dude's fucking scary.
Dude, Joe Rogan could come on stage while I'm performing and bully me out of giving him my material, and I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. You're okay, Mr. Rogan.
You could do my jokes.
And then he was like, hey, you ever do DMT? But it was a big, and that was like early internet too.
Oh, dude, that was like 2000s, like 2007 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say because it was right around Mind and
Dude, did you know I watched a Joe Rogan clip recently, and he was talking about Bush, and then he said something like, "What's the deal? It's 2005." I was like, what the fuck? It was so weird. It was so weird to hear a comic do the tired premise of it's this year, but have that year be so far back. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh my God.
It's 2005. We should have our shit together. Now comics are like, it's 2019.
We still don't have our shit together.
Why don't we have our shit together?
Yeah. Where was I going with this?
You know, one of my bits, my ancestry bit, which I like a lot, when I came up with that, I never heard
anybody else do ancestry jokes.
No one else was doing, or at least the joke where I was just saying like, I'm not going to spend that much money to find out how white I am.
Yeah.
A comic I'm actually friends with, and a comic I really like. I'm not close friends with him, so I don't think he's seen my material. Like, made a Facebook post that was just, it was like that. It was like the same delivery. The punchline was just not, I'm not going to pay that much money to find out how white I am. It's just like, I'm not going to pay that much money to put a number on how white I am. And I was just like, I wasn't going to accuse him, because I just thought
it's what's the point? I always just like, when you accuse people though of that shit though, like selling a joke on Facebook, like you're not making any money. Like I always feel like if people are doing that bit in their shows and like shit where they're getting paid, then you have a real claim. But like when I see people like getting upset over like stupid shit, I'm like, what are you talking about?
And also I've heard plenty of comics, like I actually don't do the ancestry bit at Lucy's anymore, because so many other comics have alluded to I'm so white.
At this point, it's kind of a generic premise, because the you know 23andMe and Ancestors.com, they've really blown up as industries. A lot of white people use them for some reason.
And the reason why I've kept
these black people are smart enough to not give their DNA to the government.
Yeah, but the reason why I've kept that joke for so long is because I think my tag is very original, and I like it a lot. So
I'm trying to think what your tag is.
The tag is I'm liberal, and the only reason people do that is because they're liberal and they want to find out some cool diversity. So I'm not going to do that. Like, I want to do it and find out like, oh, I'm 2% East Asian, or oh, I'm 10% gay.
Yeah.
Which like I think really is the kicker of that joke. So that's why I keep it. But like, no, like I could totally see why so many other people would think of that similar premise.
Well, it's like me.
It's
like I have a fuck ton of fat jokes, and guess what? There's a lot of fat guys who do very similar things to me, because we're fat pieces of shit.
Yeah.
like I ate all this, and they're like, no, I ate all that too. Like. So this is verbatim. Yeah. Alex Kolar and I wrote the exact same joke. Wrote the exact same joke one time. It was around Thanksgiving, and we both wrote the same joke. I'll tell you right now, because none of us really use it. It's Thanksgiving's coming up, and everyone wrongfully assumes that this is my favorite day of the year, because I get to eat like a pig. It's just another day of the year, because I eat like a pig every single goddamn day. Like, he and I wrote verbatim. He went on first, and I literally showed it to him after. I'm like, I wrote the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I mean, that's scary. I mean, that happened to me once, a joke I wrote like a very long time ago about lottery tickets as a gift. Like, how every Christmas season, the lotto always pushes advertisement being like, get your loved one the merry gift of a gambling addiction, like, and I made a joke that was just getting a lottery ticket is almost the worst gift you can give someone, because it's basically saying there's a 99% chance I gave this person absolutely nothing. And then I went on like r/stand-up shots, and like someone wrote like the exact wording of that punchline. It's just like, it just goes to show that like, people think very similarly on premises.
That's why I think people should be cool about it. If you just like, hey man, just like literally just things just going up and like in person after a show, but like, hey, I've had a similar joke, man. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm just curious. Like I don't know.
Honestly, like whenever someone like brings up a joke thieving claim, I'm like 99% confident it's false.
Yes, because also the thing too is like, if they are stealing it, people will know they're inauthentic. Like it like. Good comedians rise above. Like that's kind of just it. Cream rises to the top. Yeah, I think like people could tell if you're not being real. Like that's the whole point of comedy, is like you're telling your jokes. So like I thought there's some comedians who have people write for them, but that's different.
And also, like, I mean, two comedians can have like similar jokes. I mean, I've heard
Yeah.
it all the time. I've heard at least 5 comedians make the same joke about, including Drew Michael, by the way, make the joke about, I'm a straight guy. I wish I was gay so I could fuck all the time.
Yeah, no, that's not even a joke. That's just things straight dudes say all the
Like
time.
Daniel Sloss has done that on Conan. I mean, I think, has Joe Rogan done? I don't know if Joe Rogan's done it.
It's hack.
It's like just a joke that,
It's the thing dudes think, because like we hear about gay dudes fucking all the time. We're like, yeah, I wish I can get in on that.
and we totally gloss over how they're persecuted by society, but we're like, oh.
Yeah, well, us straight white guys, we just assume nothing bad's ever gonna happen to us because nothing ever does. And so we're like, if I just start doing other things, it'll be the same way.
I wish I was gay so I could fuck all the time, and then
I wish I was black so I can dunk a basketball.
and then get shot.
I wish I was a woman so I can get free drinks at a bar. What's another one? There's so many. Like, I wish I was.
I wish I can get free drinks at a bar and hopefully not get roofied by one of them.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, Peter,
I want to make a joke
Peter, you have
about
to stop
that.
putting roofies in girls' drinks.
I should write a joke about that. I ignored that. I know.
Gloss over it.
I mean, that's the thing about me is that like I'm a really bad listener. So if I have a train of thought, I'll barrel
I've
over.
noticed you do that to me on the show
I
sometimes.
noticed that when I edit the podcast, I'm like, oh wow, Sean had a really good joke, and I totally ignored it.
Just ignored it. Yeah, it makes it hurt.
But I want to write a joke about comics who do those premises and totally just gloss over the bad sides of all those demographics, like why it's not awesome to be a gay man, you know.
Yeah. I wish I was a woman of color so I can get a job promotion.
What?
That's just the thing dudes say. Like,
Are women of color getting job promotions left?
yeah,
and right?
for like diversity hires is the joke.
I guess, but
That's the thing offensive people say. Like, you only
yeah,
got it because of
that a bit falls to the angry right wing guy.
Yeah. Well, I think it's all the same vein.
Yeah, but
I'd say
there's
it's
different levels. And
Yeah, I think the gay guys
you can put
who
it on a
fucking things are big
spectrum.
different, yeah.
You can put
Thanks
it on a
for
spectrum.
thanks for knowing me again.
Yeah, sorry everyone.
hurts my feelings.
Brian Inslee responded saying, "Written and recorded original jokes are copyright eligible. I suggest to see if your jokes qualify."
Well, yeah, some people used to do that where if you write your jokes down and then mail them to yourself, it counts.
Well, it's so I love how flippant this is. Could you imagine like a law commercial that was specifically targeted towards joke?
Have you or a loved one had a joke thief in your life? Call 1111 joke. I don't know.
Call 1-800
Call
Chuckles.
Solino and Bonds.
We have experience dealing with comics, and we'll get you your jokes back. You work hard for your jokes. You don't have any right to lose them.
We work hard for the money. So hard.
Just like one
for
of those,
the money.
just like one of those commercials you see on daytime television. Just I guess there's a local joke lawyer who
Yeah.
can help me with my.
Can people tell I'm in vacation mode yet? I'm out. I'm wearing shorts.
Yeah, he's wearing shorts.
I wore shorts on stage last week, too.
He's better dressed than he was when we recorded the last podcast at your place.
I look good. Fuck
Yeah,
I look.
you look spry.
Listen,
with
I'm embracing my truth. Yeah, we can read a couple more of these.
But actually, I wanted to get into if a joke can be copyrighted because I actually looked into the.
I think it can.
Yeah, well, I looked into like the Conan case. If you don't, you could probably look it up. Like a guy who
Some
runs
guy tweeted a joke.
Well, no. He's
Right?
a
Is
guy.
that-
He's a guy who like he's been a comedy writer for like 20 years. He never like worked for late night, but he like submitted a lot of jokes and he got a lot of jokes on air. And then he ended up doing like a blog
Yeah.
where he would post like late night jokes. And so what happened was he posted a joke, and the next day Conan would do a joke that was basically the same thing except the wording was slightly different. So eventually he sued Conan and his writing staff, claiming that he said so he got a copyright on these jokes. Like he said he copyrighted all his jokes.
I'm looking
And
for the joke itself
He
right
said
now.
that Conan and his writing staff infringed on his copyright. But what I found out through doing a little research is that it is very hard to claim that someone infringed a copyright on a joke.
So, do you know what one of the original jokes were?
There was one about Tom Brady, one about
Here we go. So, this guy's Caseberg's first allegedly stolen joke read: a Delta flight this week took off from Cleveland to New York with just 2 passengers, and they fought over control of the armrest the entire flight. Jesus Christ.
I like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
But this is very much a... Here we go. Tom Brady said he wants to give his MVP truck to the man who won the game for the Patriots. So enjoy that truck, Pete Carroll.
Who's the coach of the
Yeah, the
Seattle
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Yeah, and then basically Conan did those jokes, except the wording was slightly tweaked. But here's the thing. So when it comes to...
Oh, third joke. Hold on.
Yeah.
The Washington Monument is 10 inches shorter than previously thought. You know the winter has been cold when a monument suffers from shrinkage.
Mm-hmm.
And one more. The final entry was an off-color reference to Caitlyn. I'm just reading the thing.
This one's bad. I know which one you're talking about.
They're not listing it.
Yeah.
Fuck you, article. Just put the fucking joke.
No. The joke was like, actually, no, I forgot the joke. It was something about like Caitlyn Jenner, and then cul-de-sac, and then they were like, they're gonna have to change cul-de-sac to cul-de-sacless because it's Caitlyn Jenner.
That's not that bad.
It's like all right.
It's hacky and well transphobic, but like you know, I've heard worse.
So essentially, the reason why it's hard to like claim copyright and win a lawsuit is because you can claim ownership on how you express something, so how you word it, but you can't claim ownership on an idea. And it's very hard to prove that the way you express something is exclusively a domain of expression rather than just an idea.
Yeah.
So basically with this case, the judge found that most of these jokes fell into this realm of ideas, that there isn't something unique about the expression. The expression is essentially what the idea is.
Yeah. Didn't they settle it and the guy got paid?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
I think he did. I think but like he was seeing like $450,000 for 3 jokes. And I'm like, I don't think that's how that works. If anything, you should be equal to 1 day's work in the writer's room at Conan, right? Like that would make the most sense.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely didn't get anything out of that.
No, I think he did.
But when it comes to like the legal fees he had to go through to like, get
somebody
this.
could have been working pro bono.
Okay, yeah, I guess you're right.
Let's see. Conan host Conan O'Brien was sued July 2015 by Robert Alexander Caseberg, who accused O'Brien and others on the TBS show of stealing 5 jokes from Caseberg's Twitter account and blog. Here, O'Brien explains why he reached a settlement in the case, which had been expected to go to trial in federal courts. So he definitely got paid. This is also definitely easier just to fucking pay the guy than actually go to court.
Yeah, well, I know the original judge said that...
This is stupid.
Well, it wasn't this is stupid. He just said that he didn't find anything unique about the jokes. He just said that these jokes kind of fell into the realm of ideas, in which case so many comedy writers are going to find
the Tom Brady one. The Tom Brady one is like, that is so obvious.
Yeah, so many writers are gonna come up with that same premise that its originality doesn't belong to anyone. Yeah, essentially, because you can't just you can't copyright an idea because then you corner the market, as they say.
Exactly.
You know,
like if I was out here doing like, I think you could tell when you're a bad person based on when you masturbated on 9/11. And for me, it was in between the 2 towers. Yeah, I think Louis would have a case.
No, yeah, because that's very.
I always like the idea of being like a cover comic. Like you're covering other comics materials. You're just like a fake Louis.
Like, yeah,
all right, buddy, this is off hilarious.
This is just like it's like some 25-year-old who shaved his head and dyed his hair red.
Yeah, you just do that. Like, all right, we're doing the hilarious tour for everybody who didn't see it the first time. We're on Netflix.
Oh, that would be so disgusting. Like some 25-year-old being like, so that's a thing.
So here's the thing: if you do like verbatim, like I feel like it would work.
I don't know. But the thing is,
it's really stupid. But like, you know, a lot of cover bands make money.
The reason why no one does a cover comic is because like comedy is so personal to people, and you can't really emulate that.
You telling me somebody can't do Bill Cosby now?
I mean, someone can do it. I don't think it would be received well.
We can't let Bill Cosby do comedy anymore, but we let someone do his old material. That'd be fun. That'd be a nice way of making up for people.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I mean, like I heard of a comedian who was like doing that. He claimed that he was doing Cosby's material to save it. He was like taking it as his own or something like that.
A lot of people I've never actually watched any of Cosby's old material, but a lot of people say it was really good back in the day.
Cosby essentially influenced like almost every comic that like we love, like comics who are like in their 40s, 50s. Yeah. Cosby influenced so much of the comedy world. Like, it's hard to find a comic who's like around 40 or 50 who would say that Cosby wasn't an influence on him.
Yeah, no, I was listening to Colbert was on Marin this week, and he was talking about how Cosby was such a huge influence on him when he was a kid. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I should check out Cosby's old material. I bet it would be fun.
Yeah, I think you can learn a lot from him.
Yeah, definitely. And just
nothing comedically, just his personal life.
Oh no! Sean. Oh no!
Oh no, on that one.
Did you check out the Cosby special, Sean? He's like, oh yeah, I read all the articles.
Yeah, we're at an hour. We're at an hour mark, by the way.
Oh, I read an hour. Okay, just one last thing, then I guess we'll end this. So essentially, to conclude, he said that he talked with the comic and like he resolved it. He said essentially that the comic would tweak his joke slightly to make him not similar. Yada yada, and he said he dropped the joke that was very similar to his brother's because it was like very very similar, probably the same vein that you and Alex your jokes were. I'll go to this one response I thought was really funny though. This guy commented saying he once heard two young comics argue over who created a joke about blacks with bad credit.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
Just imagine like two white comics in the back of an open mic being like, dude, that was fucking my premise.
Yeah.
That's so original. It's so good. Blacks with bad credit. No one's talking about that shit right now.
Yeah, dude. It's only 2019. That brings me full circle.
But anyway, thank you so much.
I want to do a thing. So Aziz Ansari is putting out his first special.
Oh,
since being Me Too'd over this weekend.
Yeah.
So I was thinking it'd be fun to watch it actually. That's like
and then report back.
Yeah, just give some thoughts on him and stuff. Like, yeah, like he's a pretty big name. I don't know how you feel about him comedically before all that. We'll talk about it next week. See, this is a teaser for next week, Pete.
Yes. That's
why I think it'd be interesting because he's a lightning rod, I guess. Like, yeah, I don't know, it's interesting. You know, we could start doing that as another thing too. Just get people because there's so many fucking comedy specials put out on Netflix and shit now. People do want to watch along with us and see how and we'll talk about some specials.
I'd actually love it if we could definitely do that. I'd actually love it if we like watched specials that like no one's watching, like specials that just because like there's a lot of like we
could do a comedy special a week.
I started watching a lot less specials over a period of time just because I liked watching comics that no one's ever heard of a lot more because like I think comics like not saying comics who have specials are bad but like once you have a special there isn't like a hunger to really try to like grapple an audience to your side because the audience will always be on your side.
Yeah.
An audience is coming out to pay to see you but when you're a comic that no one has heard of like they really fight for their audience.
The fight is to get the special to get the audience to get so that
that's
credit.
why like I would love to like watch specials of like oh here's like a comic who just got a special before that he's done nothing or not nothing but like things
we'll start doing I think next week we'll do on Aziz and then from there on we'll find lower level people who have we can even just do like 15 or like 30-minute specials for like lower level.
We can do half hours. Yeah.
All right, so guys, watch Aziz's new special on Netflix this weekend, and we'll have a talk about it.
Yes,
it's 4th of July, so not a lot of comedy is going to be happening. It's true.
Yeah.
Other than that, let's wrap up.
Yeah. Anyway, if you are a local comic in some sort of comedy scene across the country or just are around comedy scenes, I know people like to hang out in comedy scenes and not do comedy. And if you have a story, like a funny story or like a weird show someone's putting on or just something crazy that's happened in your scene, please send us an email to 2micminimum@gmail.com and we will read your story if we like it. And we'll give you a personal shout out to you and any show you're doing, yada yada. You can follow me, Peter Clark Deutsch, at Westchester Wokeboy on Instagram, or you can follow me on Twitter at Clark Deutsch P. You can type in my full name in either of those social medias and you'll find my profile. Also follow 2micminimum at Instagram and Twitter as well.
All right, guys. And for me, if you like this podcast but hate Peter, I have another podcast called The Big Berry Podcast. It's very fun, a little different. It's more just kind of jokey conversations and it's fun. This past week, it was my ex-girlfriend came on and we broke down our relationship. So if you want to know what it's like to date me and what a misery that is, please give that a listen. Other than that, check my Instagram out for any future shows, BigBerry63. Other than that, that's about it for me. Pete?
No, anyway, stay woke, kiss your mom,
and
kiss your dad.
French your dog.